Hello, everybody. It is time. What is this? Season 3 of the Sunday Night Post Game Show? Something like
Yeah, or
that?
two and a half. Two and a
Three,
half, I think.
two and
Something
a
like
half,
that.
2.5, something like that. Yeah, I know it's not Sunday, but hey, we're here anyway. We're going to do our AFC season preview tonight. Next week, we're going to do our NFC season preview. And then the final week before we get into the regular season will be playoff predictions, award predictions, stuff like that. It's going to be fun, going to be great. Also, my name's Alan. I'm AP for short. Beside me, a guy who keeps following me on every show I do, Mr. Scott Cove. You're either following me or Sam, one of the two.
Or Tanner, one of the
or
three.
Tanner, or Nick, or
Yep, very much so. But it's great to be here. Football's back, so excited.
Football's back. Can't wait for it. So, where do we start even? Where do we start? How about we start? And it's a shame that he's not here tonight because I'm sure you'd have a lot to say. We're going to start in the AFC West tonight. Last year, looking at the AFC West, Broncos, of course, winning the division easily. Chargers finishing second. Of course, we all know what happened with Patrick Mahomes. Season-ending injury. He will be back, and it seems like he's ready for week one. Mm-hmm. They're practicing very well. That's one of the main storylines we're going to be seeing for the division this year. Also, Bo Nix coming back healthy. Obviously, he got hurt just before the AFC Championship game. Broncos did get to the AFC title game, but very well handled by your Patriots, Scott, as you guys ended up going to the Super Bowl last year. So,
thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared Stidham. Thank you, Jared Stidham. Looking at the odds here, looking at DraftKings, unfortunately, because the only place I can look. Kansas City, the favorite to win the AFC West this year at plus 160. Chargers plus 190, Broncos plus 225, and then, of course, the Raiders plus 2,000. Nobody believes in the Raiders, that's still a team that's rebuilding. Let's just say that.
We play in the NFL. That's about all we can say.
They're here. That's going to be one of the interesting stories to look at, though. But what are some things about the West that you're looking at, Scott, that kind of intrigue you storyline-wise?
Right at the top, Kenneth Walker going to Kansas City. Their run game has been not good. In fact, it was awful last year. So Kenneth Walker brings in he's Super Bowl MVP last year. Brings in a guy that, as long as he stays healthy, that's been the caveat for him for his whole career, that Kansas City put a lot of trust and funds into bringing Kenneth Walker in. So is Mahomes going to turn the team over to Kenneth Walker and he's going to be the guy? Or is Mahomes still going to have a little say in this? I think Mahomes still going to have a say, but I think they're going to use Kenneth Walker hugely and a lot. So that gives Kansas City a great shot to at least make the playoffs. The team I'm high on is the Chargers. I think if the offensive line stays healthy, we've seen it in Philadelphia. If the offensive line stays healthy, they have a beast in Marion Hampton in the backfield, and they have a quarterback that's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL, in Justin Herbert. So I personally think the Chargers, as long as the offensive line stays healthy, the Chargers are going to win that division. So the Broncos, there's something about them this year that I know they got Jalen Waddle. I know they're going to be better offensively. Probably won't show up in the record, but there's just something about them that's a miss for me. And I don't know what it is. Could it be the running game? Yeah, that probably is what it is, but I'm not sure. But I think it goes Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos in that order, with the Raiders following behind. The division's too tough for the Raiders. Genty will have a better year. He had a good year last year. He just got hit behind the line of scrimmage too much. Mm-hmm. So that's got to be changed. Kubiak, the new head coach from Seattle, has come in with the task to get Ashton Genty not hit behind the line of scrimmage and to get him some serious run. In their preseason game, Ashton Genty carried the ball 3 times. 2 of them were behind Tyler Linderbaum. So you know exactly what they're going to do.
You know way they're running. You know which way
Yes.
they're running. All that matters is can you stop it?
Exactly. So I think it's all about the running game, and I think the NFL is back to a running game league again for myriad of reasons. But I think the running backs are going to play really big in this division this year.
And that's why I'm mentioning the Raiders. That's why I think Fernando Mendoza will end up fitting perfectly into the Raiders system, is because they had a really good running game in Indiana, a really good offensive line. They built that around him. Fernando didn't need to do too much, but he did just enough not only to, get that team into the national championship last year, but also won a Heisman. So I think it fit him quite perfectly, and he got a lot of good stuff there. It's going to take a couple years. Obviously, you've got Kirk Cousins there now just to kind of be the stopgap QB for when Fernando is ready. Although looking at his preseason tape, and it kind of showed it at work this morning, is that he is showing to be looking like he's ready to be an NFL quarterback. So he's made a lot of good reads, made a lot of good throws so far. Be interesting to see how he kind of develops in his first couple of years in the NFL. Again, Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix both coming off of injury. How will both of those guys play out? Especially with both of them having lower body injuries. Lower body injuries usually take a minute for a player to be able to fully use of their legs again. Yep. Although Mahomes has looked good, Bo Nix has looked good, it still usually takes about a year for it to come back. But like you said, you got Kenneth Walker in the building, so now you have a sustainable run game that can help out with that in case they need it. Yes. Whereas with the Broncos, you really don't have much of a run game, which that's not good. That's kind of one of their crippling effects on offense, is that they don't have much of a run game. So that might be to their detriment. And I'd like the Chargers too. It's just something is preventing me from picking the Chargers, because it's just the history that they are basically. And I know a lot of people compare them to the Cowboys because they are the AFC's version of the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of expectations, a lot of hype around the Chargers every year. Yep. It's the same thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys have a lot of hype. There's a lot of expectations there, and it's basically two sides of the same coin. Right. So the question is going to be, can Justin Herbert finally not just get them to the postseason, but can he go win a playoff game? If he can do that, sky's the limit for this team, especially if their offensive line's healthy.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if not now, when? And I think the last time that we saw, I think the last time that we saw, Tanner, we can do this again. There's no problem.
Yeah, we could do this for Lock It In, of course, but this is more of the non-betting side of predicting this.
For me,
unless you want to hop on, and then I could send you the link, of course.
I think he's away.
He might still be in South Bend, actually.
Yeah, he's looking for the football team to come on the field. They haven't come on the field yet. What the heck was I going to say? For me, the last time we saw the Chargers on the field, they get decimated by the Patriots. So
you said that like 2 weeks ago, Tanner. Come on now.
No, it's coming.
It's coming, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be fun.
So that's the last time we saw the Chargers on the field, was just Justin Herbert getting decimated by the Patriots defense because he had no offensive line. So, yeah, the Patriots beat the Chargers. I don't put much stock into it because of the fact that the Chargers were a banged-up team. So, again, if not this year for the Chargers, when is it going to happen? So.
All righty. So, starting off with our category list here, who is your player to watch in this division?
It's Kenneth Walker for me. I mean, you just signed a Super Bowl MVP. You signed a huge contract to come over to Kansas City. Kansas City's run game was non-existent. And now you got a quarterback coming off a leg injury who ran a lot last year, who had to. And now the running back position in the Chiefs backfield is all Kenneth Walker, along with DeMarcado and a couple other guys. But for the most part, it's Kenneth Walker. So to me, I've got to see Kenneth Walker be that guy that we saw in Seattle at the tail end of last year into the playoffs. If we see that guy, the Chiefs got a great shot to get to the Super Bowl and win it. If he's not, it could be tough because the receiving corps of Kansas City is after Rashee Rice. You got an aging Kelsey. You got Xavier Worthy, who we still don't know if he can handle a full year without getting banged up. And you got like pieces, Noah Gray and Cyrus Allen and a couple other guys. So Kenneth Walker's a guy for me to watch.
For me, it's Justin Herbert. And like you said, Scott, if not now, when? He's got to get it done this year. He's got to get it done this year. Otherwise, the media narrative is going to start flipping on him.
Yeah.
This is like, Justin Herbert is basically this generation's Peyton Manning. Can't win in the postseason. Can't get it done when it matters most. Great regular season quarterback. Can't get it done when it matters most.
Exactly.
So ultimately, he's going to have to break through at some point because – yeah, it's you have the offensive coordinator now. You have Mike McDonald in there now, so you're gonna have to make sure it gets done, offensive line or not. So it's on Justin Herbert to lead the Chargers this season for me. So rookie player to watch.
Boy, Cyrus Allen would be the guy for me. There's been a lot of buzz on him in training camp. You can't tell I'm high on the Chiefs this year, too. Cyrus Allen's been getting a lot of buzz. I think they drafted him in the 5th round, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
He has an opportunity to take the number 2 or 3 wide receiver role for the Chiefs and run with it. And in that role, you could be as good as you really want to be or as good as Patrick Mahomes wants to make you. So I think Cyrus Allen, again, with all these guys, teams we're talking about, it's health-wise. He's been banged up in camp. As long as he gets on the field for week 1 and he's ready to roll, Patrick Mahomes is going to find you. So I think Cyrus Allen could be one of those sneaky guys that could pay dividends down the stretch in season. So that would be the guy.
For me, I'm going to go the same team, but I'm going to go the opposite side of the football. I'm going to go R. Mason Thomas. And I'm not saying that just to be a homer. I don't know if you've seen Chiefs camp lately, but he is wrecking their offensive line. And this is something that Kansas City, and I'm sure Tanner would say something along the lines of this too, is that they didn't have much of a pass rush last year. Right. Other than Chris Jones, they didn't have much of a pass rush, and that's what ultimately did them in on defense. Now you add a guy like an R. Mason Thomas to that defensive line with Chris Jones. That is going to be scary. Not George Karlaftis. There's a lot riding on him this year. They got another kid that they've got a lot riding on defensively. So it's like I'm loving what I see from him. I'm loving him and Grayson Alton in San Francisco. Both have been playing extremely well in camp so far. Kendall Daniels in Atlanta too, so a lot of OU love from me, of course. But I think R. Mason is going to have a fun year in Kansas City, and I'm sure Tanner's going to be very, very happy that they picked him up in round 2. So that's the guy I'm looking for. Not necessarily head coach, but coach in general to keep an eye on.
It's Harbaugh. It's Harbaugh. I mean, again, as I went back and said a few minutes ago, if not this year, when? He has the talent. He has the offensive mind in McDaniel. Again, he's got the talent around him. He loved Herbert coming in when he came into Los Angeles a couple of years ago. This is going to be the year that he unleashes him. And then you got a stud like a Marion Hampton, who again could get upwards of 1,500 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns, catch some balls out of the backfield. The Chargers are just loaded. Their defense is vastly underrated every year, and I think it's going to be again this year. So Jim Harbaugh for me would be the coach.
Yeah. You mentioned how will Kansas City's offense look. That's going to be interesting with Eric Bieniemy coming back into Kansas City. So we know how good Andy Reid is as a head coach. We know what he can do. What is Eric Bieniemy's style going to look like coming back after being gone for a few years with a let's be honest, a less than 100% Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, you have Kenneth Walker in there now. How will this offense gel? It's a new look offensive line as well. You got some new pieces coming in from there. And then on wide receiver core, that is basically Rashee Rice and everybody else. So
Agreed.
It'll be interesting to see how Eric Bieniemy runs his offense and how it looks once we get going. So definitely somebody to keep an eye on as far as the play calling side of it.
Right.
All right. So you've kind of already ranked them 1 to 5. So 1 to 4. Sorry. I don't know why I'm saying 5. I blame Jaden Daniels.
Those are the old days.
I blame Jaden Daniels. So you have what? Chargers 1, Chiefs 2,
Broncos 3, Raiders 4. That's the
gotcha.
order.
Me, I'm gonna go Chiefs 1 just because as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, I can't bet against him. Chiefs 1, Chargers 2, Broncos 3, and Raiders 4. So the same, but flipped with 1 and 2. So
sorry, Denver. Everybody in Denver. Sorry, Denver.
Sorry, Denver Broncos. You have one good year. Just saying. Next up, we'll go to the AFC South, and this is an intriguing division because there's a lot of moving parts within here. It seems like this is the most up for grabs division in the AFC specifically, or more so the NFL overall. Because looking at here, you've got Texans are plus 110 to win the division. Jaguars, who won it last year, plus 245. Colts plus 380, despite the injury to Daniel Jones coming back healthy. And even the Titans, plus 800. That's not a bad long shot for them, because normally for a team like that, you would see them quadruple digits, maybe plus 2,000 for them. But there's a lot. That just means that there's a lot of people that are kind of high on what Robert Saleh has built in Tennessee right now. So a lot to talk about here with this division. Of course, Texans made the postseason, albeit with a battered quarterback and defense in a prayer. Had the league's best defense by far last year. Unfortunately, defense can't throw the football.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of turnovers. Again, going back to your Patriots decimated this team last season. And then, of course, Jaguars winning the division, but basically one and done. Which, for a team that has very little playoff experience, you don't. You got the moment a couple of years ago when you came back in the second half and beat the Chargers, got your first playoff win, and then get a little bit came up just short in this go around. Almost got the win, but still a very competitive outing from Jacksonville in the postseason. So, how are we feeling about the AFC South overall?
So let's take Texans out of it for a minute. The bottom of the division is going to be, to me, pretty easy to predict. The Colts trade Michael Pittman. Do not fill his position. Alec Pierce is, who knows what's going on with Alec Pierce. Some rumors he had a second surgery. The GM comes out and says, no, he didn't have a second surgery. Well, if he didn't have a second surgery, why is he not in practice, or why is he still on the PUP list? Okay, so the GM is lying to everybody. He probably did have a second surgery, and the GM just doesn't want to admit it. That's number 2. Number 3, you have a team that's one player and one player owned, Jonathan Taylor. Teams are going to stack the box against this guy and make Daniel Jones beat them. And I don't think he can beat many teams. So I don't like the Colts this year. I'm out on the Colts. The only thing I like about the Colts this year is Tyler Warren's going to have a huge year, because there's really, and if Alec Pierce misses week 1, the starting receivers for the Colts are going to be Josh Downs and Ashton Doolin. That's not good enough in the NFL. You're not going to win any games in the NFL with that. So I think Tyler Warren's going to get targeted over and over again. Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if he can carry teams anymore like he did last year for the first 9 games. I just don't know if he can do it. He's a year older, a lot of tread on the tire. So that's the problem with Colts for me. The Titans, I love the young talent, but I think they're still a year or two away from competing in that division with the Jags and Texans. If you saw their preseason game against San Francisco, running game was really good. Ward missed on a few reads, which is a problem for a young quarterback. And the defense was so. Could have been better, but because San Francisco didn't have many weapons on the field, it was pretty easy to defend them. So it's gonna be a look for Tennessee. They start out with the Jets. That could be a win. So to me, I'm gonna look at the Titans. Now go to the Jaguars. Every day in camp, the Jaguars have a new buzz. One day it's Parker Washington. The next day it's Brian Thomas. Then it's Basil Tootin. Then it's Trevor Lawrence has a great grasp of the offense. Parker Washington is the most buzziest player I've ever seen in training camp right now. Every day it's Parker Washington. He's the number one receiver on Jacksonville. Brian Thomas is going to be the go long guy, take the top off the field, off the defense. Parker Washington is going to be the guy that works in the middle of the field, and Trevor Lawrence loves him. The Texans are C.J. Stroud problem for me. I do not like C.J. Stroud. I think he's regressed in the wrong way since his rookie season. I do think he can somehow get it back, and I think the reason he can somehow get it back is because now he has a running game that he can lean on in David Montgomery, who 12 touchdowns. The guy just grinds in the middle of the offensive line. He showed it in Detroit time and time again. I think Houston's going to lean on that running game. They could have the most running back carries in the league this year. Mm-hmm. I still think the Texans.
Also, Tank Dell's back in the building, so that's got to help with your mental psyche. Sure.
Absolutely, and that's a feel-good story. We don't know what Tank Dell's going to do. We don't know how healthy he's going to be come opening the season, but it's great to see him back running routes and participating in practice. I think the Texans and Jags are going to run away from this division and hide. And I think that the difference for me is the Texans' defense. Their defense is if it's not one, it's two in the league right now, behind the Rams, or ahead of the Rams and behind the Rams. They got a field goal kicker in Fairbairn, who I don't talk about field goal kickers a lot. He's as money as you get outside of Brendan Aubrey. So to me, and Cam Little's not a bad kicker either, so that specialty is pretty even. To me, Houston wins the division, and it's not more than a game, because I think Jacksonville's offense is for real, and they could score on anybody. So that's where I think the division's headed.
Player to watch in this division.
It's Parker Washington. I mean, he's getting buzz every day. If he lives up to the buzz he's getting, he could be one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL this year. That's how much of a buzz he's getting. Parker Washington's the guy Trevor Lawrence leaned on last year for a lot of the season. Slot receivers opening up in the slot, perfect position for him. Small guy, shifty, quick, gets in the middle of the field and can run away from defenders. So Parker Washington's the guy for me.
I'm going to go Gunnar Helm. I'm going to go Gunnar Helm in Tennessee, because there's nothing that a quarterback loves more than a solid tight end. More so a solid tight end that the quarterback has known in the past. For those who don't know, Cam Ward started out in Texas with Gunnar Helm. These guys know each other. So it makes sense to have him in the room so Cam Ward could have somebody he could trust. Plus, I think he's going to take, Sam's talked about him a lot, saying how much he loves him. Obviously you got the rookie up there coming in, Carnell Tate, Shamir DK, who had a Pro Bowl season last year. This receiving core as a whole, I think, is going to show out soon for Tennessee. Like you said, Scott, it may take a year or two, but I think I don't mean to be negative about this, once they get Calvin Ridley out of the building, I think there's a good chance you could see this Tennessee offense start to open up a whole lot more. Sam just hopped in for this. I'm giving praise to your boy Gunnar Helm there, Sam. So, even though he's a Texas kid, I'm giving praise to him because I think if every growing quarterback's best friend is a solid tight end, and I think Gunnar Helm's going to be that for Tennessee for sure.
Yep.
Rookie to watch.
Boy. Is it really a rookie? Connell Tate is the only guy I can think of because, okay, is he the number one receiver in Tennessee? We're not sure. It's not Calvin Ridley. I don't think it's DK. So by process of elimination, or could it be Wandale? I'm not sure. But I do know something that if Wandale, who has the eye of Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator of the Titans, could Connell Tate be that guy that goes sneakily under the radar and pops up with a 1,000-yard season as a rookie and 60 catches? Possibly. Not betting on it. Rookies don't do that very often, but it's possible. It's possible. So he came from a great college in Ohio State where they just breed offensive talent and they send it to the NFL and he go NFL. So Connell Tate would be my guy.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from here, and there's not much. I guess you could say, we've talked about the Texans' offensive line, and can they be more impactful this season? I guess it starts with the center, Kalen Rutledge, coming in, the rookie. So can he help establish the middle of this offensive line? You're now being bookended by Ed Ingram and Wyatt Teller, who are proven veterans in this league. Can he solidify this offensive line? Who the interior of the offensive line has really struggled for the Texans the last couple of years, which is why CJ Stroud has been taking as many bumps as he's had. So I would definitely take a look at Caleb Rutledge. He's going to be the starting center for them. So seeing how he's able to help anchor and establish the middle of this offensive line for Houston. And now finally, Sam said he's playing the X. So
Connell Tate.
Probably Cardinal Tate, yeah. All right, coach to watch.
Robert Saleh. I mean, he was with the Jets, had a miserable experience in his last year with the Jets, went back to San Francisco as a DC, coming back to Tennessee again. Probably, I think he learned a lot from the Jets situation. There's no place for Tennessee to go but up in the coaching ranks. So I think Robert Saleh is going to bring a toughness. He's going to bring a renewed enthusiasm. And I think their defense could be better than people think simply because they have a DC that's probably a defensive top 5 defensive mind. I think Tennessee will be much improved. I think Tennessee will be competitive in a lot of these games. How many they win, we're not sure. But Tennessee could definitely be a much, much improved team. Could be one of the best, most improved teams in the NFL this year. So Robert Saleh for me.
I'm going to look at Liam Cohen, I want to see if last year wasn't just a fluke. Because that seems to be a running pattern with the Jaguars here lately. Barely since their inception. You get a good start, a solid start first year, but then the second year, it's like it completely falls apart, and then they just can't find a way to get back up to where they were. Will this be a solid season, if not better than what it was for Jacksonville, than year one for Liam Cohen? I'm really interested to see how he navigates this team through a second season and if they can have their continued success from last year. Because I'm sure Jaguars fans are tired of just being one-hit wonders. So,
without question, that's for sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's rank these guys in order, 1 to 4.
So it's Houston 1, Jacksonville close with me at 2, Tennessee at 3, Indy at 4.
I'm going to go Jacksonville 1, I'm going to go Tennessee 2.
Oh, boy, here comes Sam.
Houston 3, Indy 4. I agree with you on the Colts. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't have the Titans with a winning record, but I still think they'll finish second because I'm not sold on that offense for Houston. I know their defense is great, but defense can only carry you so far.
Without doubt.
The 2000 Ravens, this is not. Just saying.
No, it is not. No, CJ Stroud is not Trent Dilfer. So.
All right. Next division up for grabs. AFC North. This one has kind of a little bit more of a clear winner as far as the betting line goes. Ravens at -112. They're our first minus on here. Bengals plus 184. Steelers plus 510. And then the Browns, Cleveland Browns plus 2,100 to win the AFC North. I've said it on a couple shows earlier. I think there's going to be a lot of typical AFC North smash mouth football this year. I think all four of these teams can be very competitive. A lot of turnover, especially with Baltimore, new head coach, new coaching staff in general. John Harbaugh off to the Giants. Problem is going to still be with the receiving core, although there is a young rookie wide receiver that everybody is very swoon with in Baltimore right now, and he's looking really good. He is really good. So no more Hollywood Brown. Well, wait, he came from Kansas City. You still have I'm blanking on his name right now. The kid from Boston College.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, you still have Zay Flowers. You still have Mark Andrews. You still have Lamar Jackson. The offensive line isn't what it was last year, but it still can be serviceable. Defense is starting to become a question with Baltimore because that's usually their bread and butter. And unfortunately, it's starting to – what other stuff are we talking about with this division, Scott? Because I'm about to go off on a tangent here.
So the main thing with this division is, can Joe Burrow stay healthy? If you watch the first preseason game, he could get really crushed again. The offensive line's not really good, number one. So they've got to figure it out. I don't want to see Joe Burrow get hurt at any point. When you get an NFL player like him, you don't want to see him get hurt. That's number one. Number two, Cleveland can't figure out their quarterback situation, although I think they have it, their starter, and they haven't named him yet. It's Deshaun Watson. And we've seen Deshaun Watson play quarterback. It's not a great thing to have Deshaun Watson as quarterback because Harold Fannin, who's their best offensive weapon or was their best offensive weapon last year, Deshaun Watson does not target tight ends. So to me, that's a no-go when you're taking out one position of the offense. Baltimore, their defense is going to kill them this year. Their defense is going to not allow them to win games that they should. And the other thing with Baltimore is when they're trailing, Derrick Henry is a non-factor because they have to throw the ball a lot. Derrick Henry is not a pass-catching back, as we know. He runs between the tackles, and he's that bull in a china shop that gets downhill quickly. I like the Bengals a lot this year if Joe Burrow can stay healthy. I think with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase Brown, everybody's raving about a camp. I love Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown could have a fantastic year. And he would be the key to that team is Chase Brown do what he did in the last half of the year. So to me, this division and Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers is 75 years old right now. Does not want to get hit. So the ball's going to be out quick. That does not favor DK Metcalf. That favors Michael Pittman, who they signed to a big contract as soon as they traded for him. So to me, it comes down to the Bengals and if Burrow can stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy for 17 games, they should win this division. If not, then it's going to be up for grabs. So those are my storylines for this year with that division.
Mm-hmm. I'd say it also would keep an eye on what rookie Jeremy Bernard too. That can favor him as well if Rodgers is trying to get the ball out quick. Yeah, there's a lot to break apart with this division. It's like I already said it. I think there's going to be a lot of solid AFC North football that you're going to see this year.
Yep.
Although one team defensively might not be as good as some of the others, but hey, it is what it is. So our player to watch in this division.
It's Chase Brown for me. I mean, if Chase Brown, he single-handedly could be the reason why the Bengals either go deep in the playoffs or they miss the playoffs. Because I think that you know what you're getting from Chase and Higgins. You know what you're getting from Burrow. You think you know what you're getting from Chase Brown, but Chase Brown could even be even better than people think. Jamar Chase is raving about him. T. Higgins is raving about Joe Burrow says he's one of the best backs in the NFL. When you get that from that guy, that's telling you something. So for me, Chase Brown is the engine that makes the Bengals offense go. So
I'm going to go a 2-for-1 here, and it's on the Bengals defense. They got two guys out of the NFC East to come in and help them on the defensive line, Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen. Both very good, solid interior defensive tackles. This has been a big problem for the Bengals for the last few years, is they have not been able to stop a nosebleed on defense. Now you've solidified your interior with two veteran Pro Bowl, All-Pro defensive tackles. You've got some guys on the edge. You've got some decent safeties in the back. This might be a better defense in Cincinnati than people are thinking. And it all starts up front, as it usually does. So these two guys, if they're able to wreck shop up front, there could be a lot of big plays from the Bengals defense this year. So not saying there'll be world beaters, but definitely improved from what they were a season ago. So those are the couple guys I'm going to keep an eye on. Any rookies you're keeping an eye on?
Casey Concepcion. If you watch the Browns' first preseason game, Deshaun Watson's preferred choice was not Jerry Jeudy. It was not Harold Fannin. It was Casey Concepcion. He could be the best rookie wide receiver in the NFL this year. Could be. Because if Deshaun or Shador is going to target that guy time and time again, and Todd Monken, the head coach, came out today and said they want to get the ball in his hands as much as they possibly can. If that's the case, then look for Casey Concepcion to have a top 20 NFL stat season. Not saying that's going to be enough for the Browns, because it probably is not. But I think for the Browns, that would be a nice first step to taking their team into the next 5 years and going up. So Casey Concepcion is the guy for me.
This might be a little bit of buying into the hype for me, but I'm going to go with Jacoby Lane in Baltimore. We haven't not seen Lamar Jackson have a wide receiver as dynamic as how this kid has played already in preseason. If this kid gets a starting spot, looking at their depth chart right now, if he steals the starting spot, your wide receiver room is Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, and Jacoby Lane. That instantly makes them a little bit more scary on offense. And now you have to respect the wide receiver room in that case. So, not saying he will be an instant impact, but enough to where, hey, we got some openings up front now. Here you go, Derrick Henry. Go for another 30-yard run here or there, and run this clock down for us. It's a very good compliment to what Baltimore wants to do on offense. And if it works out, this might be a very dangerous offense here in the next couple of years, for sure.
Might be. Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Coach to watch.
Zach Taylor is the most tenured coach in the AFC North. Can't believe it. I honestly think, and the Bengals hold on to their coaches far too long than they should. Mm-hmm. If the Bengals do not make the playoffs this year, Zach Taylor will get fired. I just think that the Bengals have loaded up this year, or tried to load up, to make a deep playoff run in the AFC because when you look around the AFC, you don't see many teams that can give you problems. I, on the other hand, do see a lot of teams that can give the Bengals problems in the AFC once playoff time comes. So it's Zach Taylor for me. I mean, he's squarely on the hot seat in this division. So
I'm going to go with Todd Monken in Cleveland. Can he handle all the drama and all the stress within that not just within that Browns organization, but everybody who's a Shador fan, everybody in Cleveland, Deion Sanders, just everything, all the drama, all the press, everything. Can he get them on the right track? Can he get them on a winning path? And can we finally start, once again, for the first time in a few years, start seeing winning football in Cleveland again on a more consistent basis? So that's a guy I'm keeping an eye on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's rank these guys 1 to 4.
I don't know how I did this on False Start. I forget. But here's how I'll go. Bengals 1. Ravens 2. Browns 3. Steelers 4.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the exact same thing. Bengals 1. Ravens 2. Browns 3. Steelers 4. So, yeah, at least we agree on something with that. It's kind of the most predictable division is, but, no, that's going to be the next one. But this really is a case that, anybody can really win this division because they all have the talent to do it. It's just who's going to take that step forward.
Right, exactly. Injury could play a big factor who wins this division, too. That's the other thing.
Absolutely. Finally, your division, Scott, the AFC East.
Oh, God.
The crown prince of the New England Patriots, winners of the division a season ago, and the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Drake May left his shoulder pads in Denver. So it did not go well for your Patriots in that Super Bowl, Scott. Not at all.
No.
But here we are, 2026. A lot of hype still with the team. Bills are actually the favorite at -136. Patriots at +125. So not a far edge for either of those sides. But then you get to the other two teams: Jets +1900 and the Dolphins, the longest long shot to win a division out of any team in the NFL, +4,000.
I go like them. I'm going with them.
No. Second, there's another one in the NFC we'll get to next week. But
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tale of two halves of this division. You get one half that's really good, the other half that's spotty at best, dare I say. But what are we looking at for your division, Scott, the AFC East?
So I don't want to. Not going to play home run this division. I'm going to try to go straight down the fact. So both Buffalo and New England brought in wide receivers that are going to make a difference in DJ Moore for Buffalo and AJ Brown for the Patriots. That's number one. Number two, James Cook has had a fantastic and great last 2 years. Can he duplicate that? I don't know. He's a young guy, but he's a very small guy with a lot of miles on his body right now. So can he duplicate what he did last year and the year before? I don't know. Probably not to the extent he did, but to the extent that that's good enough. I don't even want to talk about the Jets and Dolphins. They're just so bad right now. I mean, both teams. The Jets should be better. They have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, brought in a competent quarterback in Geno Smith, but that head coach, I can't trust him at all. And the Dolphins just traded everybody, and they have nobody, and they're starting from scratch. So, to me, it comes down to which team out of the Patriots and Bills is going to handle pressure the best. Patriots going to be 14-3 this year? No chance. Could they win 11 games this year? Yes. They could be a better team by winning less games. Buffalo is a chip on their shoulder. They won the division a lot of years in a row. They have a lot of stuff to prove in my mind. Are they going to do it? I don't know. Josh Allen, to me, seems like the type of guy that will try to do too much, and he'll just try to do way too much. And if he does, then Buffalo's going to be out, because I think that's when he doesn't play well, when he tries too hard. So that's my synopsis for the AFC East. You can't talk about Miami and the Jets. How can you talk about those two teams? You can't do it.
It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to, because it's like there's nothing there. I'm looking at some of their roster depth, like their wide receiver. You could have 3 rookies starting at wide receiver this year, which is unheard of in a lot of cases. You got, Caleb. You got Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, who's had success in Dallas. Tutu Atwell, who's had success. But then it's like your rookies, Chris Bell, who's actually played pretty well in the preseason so far. Caleb Douglas as well have played pretty well. And then the other one would be Kevin Coleman Jr. So you would have 3 rookies in position to maybe get starting spots in your wide receiver room right now.
Alan, the coach said last week Devin Achane could get upwards of over 40 touches a game. You're going to get the guy killed. That's the only guy you have. You're going to get him
the only
killed.
guy you have.
Yes. I don't know the receivers. Malik Washington could be something. I don't know. But if you're going to run your running back 35 times and have him catch 8 passes, you're going to get him killed by halfway through the season. So that's why I'm out on Miami. Miami, they don't know what they have no idea what they're doing. So
I know. All right,
sorry, John.
Player to watch.
It's AJ Brown for me. The Patriots put all kinds of eggs in this basket. They want AJ Brown to be the guy. He's number 1 in deep throws against man-to-man, okay, receiving wise, in terms of catching the ball. He is the Patriots offense, and he takes pressure off the rest of the team to do their jobs. So A.J. Brown, for me, could either be a real big difference maker, or if he goes back to the A.J. Brown we saw in Philadelphia at the end of his tenure in Philadelphia, he could dismantle this team with his attitude. So A.J. Brown's a huge, huge X factor for me in the division.
I'm going to go on defense, and I'm going to go to Buffalo to Bradley Chubb. Defensively, Buffalo has struggled recently, especially last year. They struggled mightily towards the end of the year, which kind of cost them the postseason. You add another dynamic pass rusher in Bradley Chubb, who's a proven guy, has had some injury issues. But if he's healthy and he's playing well, that's a difference maker for your defense. So can Bradley Chubb get back to form, and can he help this defense be one of the best units in the NFL? Offensively, I think Buffalo will be fine because they have the pieces to do it. It's how is their defense going to hold up in this coming season?
Yeah, I would agree.
Any rookies you're looking forward to watching, maybe for your own team or
oh, boy.
I got one. Unfortunately, it's from Miami, but
yeah, I don't see any rookie in this division that I would go out of my way to watch.
I really think Jacob Rodriguez could lead the division in tackles. Yep. As a starting middle linebacker. We saw what he did at Texas Tech last year. He's a dynamic playmaker. He's a Heisman finalist last year. Should have won it, in my opinion, but that's just me. Great defensive player, great defensive mind. If Miami's anything on defense this year, it'll be because Bradley Chubb's playing well. Or not Bradley Chubb, but Jacob Rodriguez is playing well. So,
Yep, I would agree.
Yeah, coaches to watch.
You think I'd say Mike Vrabel? I ain't saying Mike Vrabel. It's Joe Brady in Buffalo. Sean McDermott got fired at the end of last year. Joe Brady's the offensive coordinator. He moves over and becomes the head coach now. Supposedly Joe Brady's going to keep calling plays. How are they going to divvy up Josh Allen? Is he going to be a less running quarterback and more passing quarterback? Or is he going to be the same Josh Allen that we've seen and know? So that to me is a mystery, number one. If he doesn't run as much, I don't think he's an effective quarterback. I think they're going to try to pepper DJ Moore with as many targets as they can get to him. So Joe Brady would be the guy to watch for me.
I'm going to go Aaron Glenn here. The question being is that how good, how improved is this Jets team really? Like, there's a lot of talk that they have improvement. They could play better this year, especially with Geno at quarterback. But how soon do the wheels fall off?
Right.
Will he be the first coach fired this year? Because there's a lot of talk that he could be. Do we end up seeing the rookie Cade Klubnik take snaps in the regular season this year over Geno if Geno's playing badly? There's going to be a lot of decisions on Aaron Glenn's plate this year, especially if the Jets do not perform up to what they need to. So it's going to be a difficult season probably again, but you maintain it, you build the foundation, you continue to improve, put this team in the right direction. And if you can't, you're probably on your way out the door.
Yep. I agree.
All right. 1-5 or 1-4. God damn it. I want to go back to the 90s so bad, Scott.
I know. Boy, jeez. Patriots 1. No, Bills 1. Patriots 2. Jets 3. Dolphins 4. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Although, yeah, I'll go Bills 1, Patriots 2, Jets 3. Although it's closer than people think, and the Dolphins by far are the worst team in this division.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've got all that settled out, and we'll do this for the NFC next week too. We'll go 1-4 division winners. Who has the higher ranking, and then your 3 wild card teams.
So 1 for me is going to be Buffalo. 2 is going to be the Chargers. 3 is going to be the Bengals. 4 is going to be Houston. Wild card would be Patriots would be 1. Chiefs would be 2. Broncos would be 3.
So no Ravens. No Ravens at all.
I'm afraid that there's something missing with the Ravens. I think that defense is going to cook them in games. It's going to be them and the Broncos coming down the stretch for the last wild card. And I just think that the Ravens defense is going to lose them a game that it shouldn't, and that's going to cost them a playoff spot. Plus, if Lamar gets hurt, then they're cooked. So
I'm going to go Bills 1. I'm going to go Bengals 2. This is kind of a shocker. I'm going to go Jaguars 3. Chiefs 4. And then wild cards, I'll go Chargers at 5. Patriots 6. And 7's kind of a toss-up because it could literally be any team. You know what? I'll go Baltimore. I'll go Ravens 7.
Yeah,
So
it's tough. The back end of the draft is tough. Back end of the draft. What am I talking about? Back end of I got fantasy on my mind. The back end of the AFC playoff picture is tough. It could be a myriad of teams.
You got to have a lot of teams that are going to be fighting for that last spot for sure.
Without question.
So, yeah, again, next week we'll do the same thing, but with the NFC side. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll put those results together and come up with our playoff predictions / awards predictions and stuff like that. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for football to be back. It's here, ready for it to count. I guess you could say when we get to week 1. So, but yeah, Scott, what we got going on the rest of the week?
We got baseball show Wednesday night, obviously. Then we got Rec Room Sports on Thursday. And then I'm pulling double duty on Thursday at Rec Room. And then I got Fall Start Thursdays. I forget what the division is. Could be the NFC South this week. And then lock it in this weekend. And I don't know I think Tanner will be back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. Last week, now we started our predictions for Heisman. For conference winners, I think we're going to predict that. We're going to predict a bunch of other stuff and maybe throw in some NFL too if we have time. So I'm looking forward to it. Alan's been wanting to do NFL for 3 weeks now. So
I've been chomping at the bit. But yeah, as Scott mentioned, baseball show Wednesday night, Thursday Rec Room Sports Show Thursday, Saturday lock it in, Sunday potentially. Tanner, looking at you, lock it in, and then next Monday night we'll be back here talk about the NFC, which should be interesting because there's a lot of continuity with the NFC this year. So
it certainly is.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a fun season. I have a good feeling.
Yep, I think so too.
All right. Anything else, Scott, before we end off tonight?
That's it. Everybody stay safe. Have a good night.
Yes, stay cool if you're in the middle of the country with all the heat and stuff. Because unless you're Jonathan, in just case, go enjoy it, please.
Yeah, put a hoodie on, Jonathan. Put a hoodie on.
He's probably at the beach laughing at us right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he is.
Right. Guys, have a great night. Love y'all. Stay safe. Take care.
See ya.